Hey y'all, hey! Welcome to episode 20 of Theories and Thoughts with Anya and
Fancy.
Fancy. I love it. Anywho, hey y'all! Guess what day it is? It is Mardi Gras! And everywhere else, it's just Tuesday. But in New Orleans and Louisiana, it is Fat Tuesday. And being, my hair, y'all know I'm always fooling my hair. And being a New Orleanian, I could not resist by saying Happy Mardi Gras. So happy Mardi Gras out there to you guys. Some of you guys may be at Fat Tuesday and you are listening to this as a rebroadcast, or some of y'all came in early and y'all watching it now. So hey y'all, hey. I was gonna have some beads and stuff, but I didn't have none. So I decided to wear one of my classmates' shirts, addicted to results. One morning I woke up and I just was like, I'm addicted to results. And then I went and made that purchase. I do stuff like that. Anywho, but if you have any apparel that you would like for me or my me or Fancy to wear on the show, feel free to hit me up at Arnya, ARNYA, at SwagHer.net. Okay. Anywho, so just wanted to say hey about Mardi Gras. Mardi Gras is a lot of people think that it's just one day, but Mardi Gras season it starts maybe 2 or 3 weeks ahead of time before, and it there's parades and different things that happen prior to the actual day. So, did you do anything for Mardi Gras?
No. I've only been like once at a very young age. Let me take that back. Maybe twice. Second time was a really bad experience. But it's just I don't know. I still feel like I don't really understand all of the culture, which is kind of crazy because I live, outside of New Orleans, not far from New Orleans. But I haven't really had the time to just really look into it. But I do want to, soon take that time. So maybe next year we could try to make it, or I could try to make it something.
Somebody asked me today, what does Fat Tuesday mean? I said, I don't know.
I have heard the meaning of it before, but I honestly don't remember.
I'm gonna look it up. I know I should have already looked it up. I'm gonna look it up. But y'all, I mean, if you're New Orleanian, it's a time for celebration. It's a time for culture. For just y'all know, New Orleans people do not need a reason to celebrate or do anything. I tell people all the time, it can be good weather, and we be like, "Oh, we gonna barbecue at the house. Come on through," because that's just how we are and who we are as a culture. And I love being from New Orleans, and that being the situation. That's just
I
me.
think it's kind of crazy how Baton Rouge and New Orleans are like. It used to be seems like an hour and a half away. Traffic nowadays it seems like it's more 2 hours to me, or they could just be my driving. But just how big of a difference the two are. But when you say Louisiana, first thing people say is New Orleans. So every time I try to tell somebody about, the magazine being in Louisiana, the first thing they think is New Orleans. And I'm like, no, Baton Rouge just is not that exciting to me. But they do parades and so on here. I don't really want to be getting up at 10 in the morning for a parade though. Not on a Saturday. That's just like I
And
be up, but I be in my work.
people get up at like for Zulu start at like 7 o'clock in the morning. People get up. Like the people in Zulu be out there at like 3 or 4. And
Oh,
then I think they start like 7 or 8. So people are out there like 6 o'clock on their spot. People in New Orleans, they, especially down St. Charles, they get their spot early because everybody else is going to be out there. People stay out there all night, pinch a tent, and just be out there.
yeah. I'm not one of those people.
Okay.
I couldn't do it. But I do now that is one thing. I really would like to attend the Zulu Ball. And every year I'll be like, okay, I'm trying to make this year.
You
And I just even started getting close to, I guess you say, even discovering like how everybody knows about the tables and so on. Like apparently people seem to buy their tables like in October, November, but I don't see the post or anybody mention it until like December. So if anybody's watching and you in the inner circle, like let me start paying on my table now, now or something.
Man, my uncle is a part of Zulu.
You never told me that.
I have family that my dad rode Zulu when my uncle was the witch doctor.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. He rode Zulu. I'm gonna get some information. That was about 6 or 7 years ago, maybe. But okay, if you want to do it, let's do it. I can ask my cousin. I asked my cousin this year, but then I'm gonna ask my uncle. I got his number myself. I can get that information and we can do the Zulu ball. I've been once. It was nice. It was when Babyface was there, and I wanted to hear "Whoop Appeal, Baby." That's all I wanted to hear him do. Whoop Appeal. I had on a yellow dress, and I found my dress the day of, like, going through Baton Rouge, because I wasn't going initially, but my homegirl that I was going on there with, she was going, and she was like, you might as well go. And I mean, I had the money. So I was like, here go my money for my ticket. But the thing is, you have to pay for your ticket, and you have to pay for the food and the alcohol at your table.
Yeah, I've heard that.
And you have to buy a table is of 10. So you can be on somebody else's table, or you can have your own table and staff it how you want. But
yeah,
really,
so I saw it when I ended up seeing it. It was like they had already started. Most of the tables I think were about gone. So like I said, it was almost January when I heard about it. And the person I heard about it from, like they seemed like they could possibly have gotten me a table or helped me get to the tickets, but it was real last minute. Something like that I want to be prepared for. But I do definitely want to go. It seems fun. I have heard people also say that the entertainment has not been up to par, or like it's been declining or something.
Everybody say that it's been good. It was good this year. They were like, have Dougie Fresh. I seen posts that say have Dougie Fresh be the MC every year.
Really?
So it's other people's opinions. I don't know.
Okay. But, I've never been, so I'm just like, from what I've heard. But
so on HollywoodInsights.com, it says it's time to what is Fat Tuesday? It's a time to party it up and eat. Fat Tuesday is the day before Ash Wednesday, which I knew. That's when.
No, not today. So it was not me.
I don't know what that was. Anyway.
No, okay, y'all. I'm just happy that it was not me. I thought I was actually gone. Luckily, I ain't started cursing.
I'm glad. Don't do that. I don't know. I went away. But anyway, okay. It says, if you ever want to know, because people always ask me, when is Mardi Gras? When is Mardi Gras? I always look for Ash Wednesday. It's always the Tuesday before Ash Wednesday. So it says the day before Ash Wednesday is also known as Mardi Gras or Shove Day. It is a day when people eat all they want of everything and anything they want, as the following is Ash Wednesday, the beginning of a long fasting period for Christians. In addition to fasting, Christians also give up something special that they enjoy. So Fat Tuesday is a celebration and the opportunity to enjoy that favorite food or snack that you can give up for the Lenten season. Nowhere on the planet is okay, the rest of that is just talking about New Orleans. Let me say Ash Wednesday is observed by Catholics, not by Christians, not by all Christians. Because as a Christian, I don't really observe it. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. Sometimes I give up, like I've given up social media and stuff like that. But because my work is so deep into social media, I can't really just give up social media for that long period of time. So sometimes I might give up and just something. So that's that. So anything else on that?
No. So Ash Wednesday is tomorrow.
Ash Wednesday is tomorrow, and that's when Catholics go to mass and they get ash on their heads. Now, I'm not Catholic, so I don't really know what the meaning of the ash is. I think it's a blessing or something. But it's like so many days. I think it's 40 days before Easter, and then they can start back eating whatever, either Black Good Friday or Easter.
Oh,
alrighty.
Just so y'all know, I have still been trying to share this on my Fancy Thoughts page or whatever, and it's just like I've been struggling. So that's why I've been looking down, because I couldn't find it for some reason, even though I had a watch party going on my own page. But I guess that was kind of the thing. So anyway, though,
Okay, so Rihanna's speech. So Rihanna received the President's Award. I always
It's the President's Award.
feel like I have everything ready, and then when we get on, I'll be like, what was it? So she received the President's Award at the NAACP award ceremony that was held Saturday, but it aired on Sunday. I liked her speech, short, to the point. One thing I love about her is that she said, "Your friends of other races, they want to come eat with you. So tell them pull up." Meaning, tell them pull up when it matters. On things that matter to us as a culture. You know, it's kind of like whenever you have white friends that case in point, I have a friend, she was white, and she was on my page. And when Kobe got killed with the in the plane, she put up a post talking about we're raising money to get Kaepernick a plane, and I ain't find that shit funny.
Wow.
And I felt like you as my friend, you shouldn't have been disrespectful like that. That man, it's not like he said he going to kill nobody. He didn't say he was going. He just took a damn knee. That's why I'm standing up for the pledge. Anyway, um, my own opinion, my own thing. However, I'm proud to be an American, but like I said what I said. I just felt like you're not paying attention to the reason why, and you're not feeling this brown girl's issues. So therefore, I gotta get you up off my page, and I don't really fool with you.
Well, look, Kendrick also is sharing some information
Oh,
about Fat Tuesday in the comments, just in case you all had noticed that. But I really enjoyed her speech. I love Rihanna, and I think for her to like publicly address such matters, it's almost like she made it cool. You know what I mean? Like she said, it seems like she might be setting a trend, kind of like how, and not even, I don't want to call it a trend, but like inspiring more of a movement. And I'm glad that she took the time to do that. But at the same time, I mean, she was being awarded for her philanthropy, so it kind of aligns. She really seems socially conscious, and I'm just wanting, I'm hoping to start seeing some results of that overall. But it
I
seems like a lot of people, I think a lot of people were really inspired by her speech as well.
I agree. I agree. And the thing is, don't just be inspired. Actually, do.
Right.
I mean, we do
But
our
it was just I was kind of looking at the comments that people were leaving when we shared the video. And that's why I said, because you could watch it and be like, oh, it's Rihanna. You know what I mean? But I was looking more so at the fact that they felt compelled, like it really moved them. So even when I say inspired, I'm hoping it's going to move them to some action. But I think it connected with a lot of people. I think she connected with a lot of people when she said that, or made them more aware of, the parts that they could be playing in things.
I agree. I totally agree. Um, I have nothing more on that one. Kobe Bryant, what?
Oh, I didn't say anything.
Kobe Bryant's celebration of life was held at the Staples Center on 2/24 Gianna and Kobe Day. They had not performance. I hate when I go to church. I feel like that's a performance, or if there's a service, that's a performance. It wasn't a performance. There was music by Beyonce. There was music by Alicia Keys. There was speeches. I didn't know him and Michael Jordan was so close. I was looking for LeBron to say something, but then I was like, he already said something, so he had to say nothing else again. I don't even remember seeing him there, but I'm sure he was. I just didn't see it. I was actually not really watching. I was more listening. They had some really good people there. May I see Anthony David he was looking really nice. I think his name is Anthony Davis. Yeah. He plays for the Lakers now. He used to play for the Hornets. He was looking real, real good.
Okay, ma'am, get back to
Oh,
the service.
sorry, sorry.
Now you done said it twice. We got it. I don't know Anthony David. I'm gonna Google him, but moving on. So Anthony, if you're watching,
Okay, Anthony, get at your girl. um, My heart goes out to Vanessa. She had a very moving, very moving speech. She had a letter to her daughter and a letter to her husband. We learned more about who Kobe was. I wasn't really a Kobe fan, although I'm a basketball fan, but I won't say that I'm just a really big basketball fan anymore. I used to be when I was in high school. I used to be a Bulls fan, but because I like Dennis Rodman, so that's that. And then I became a Dallas Mavericks fan when I moved here. So I don't really keep up with it. I only keep up with kind of the Mavericks. However, I knew he was a great player, So you had such touching his best friend, hearing from his best friend, who is now the GM of the Lakers. Um, but can I say an unpopular opinion? I'm gonna say it anyway. I feel that I get it. It was more than just him and his daughter that died on that helicopter. But why we have to keep bringing up these other people? We don't know them. And my coworker was just laughing at me because she was like, Anya. I was like, no, I just feel like this is his service. Why we have to feel like every time we talk about him, we have to be obligated to talk about them? We already acknowledged them. We already said, okay, they lost their lives also. Why do people feel like, oh, you have to say, I'm sure at their services, everybody wasn't saying, oh, and let's remember Gianna and Kobe also. That's just like if somebody get in a car accident, are we going and two people die? The person they hit each other. Are we going let's remember that other person too? I don't know. Thought.
I mean, I get it, but I think it's out of respect. For me, I don't like even just overall, I did watch. Only thing I saw of the service was Michael Jordan's speech. Because for one, I don't really do death well. I guess that's the best way to put it. And I know I like try to watch what all basically what all I'm retaining in my brain. So I just didn't want to go down that road. But I would say, just because I know I'm one of those type of people that has like a really big fear of death, my whole thing is like, you want to be remembered, and I think that that's like just, and I understand what you're saying, but I would still do so just because I think everybody wants to be remembered. I was just watching the show called Stumptown the other day, and the woman was saying how she has no kids. She's the last of her lineage. And if her movie didn't take off or whatever, she's just going to die a nobody, and nobody would even miss her. And it just really made me think. So that's kind of my thoughts on that matter. As far as though, like for what I saw of Michael Jordan's speech, I think somebody, and y'all know I'm always like, okay, also I want to just address this right quick too. I did not see LeBron James. I did see as they were spanning the crowd, that we would see the different players. I'm not really certain I saw him, but I did see that he tweeted like maybe early 5 something this morning, and it was like the purple and gold hearts. And I just felt like he must have been having a moment. And even just me, it just kind of, just even think about it now. And I was like, dang, Kobe's probably on his mind. But from Michael Jordan's speech, I was really touched. I saw somebody say this is the old Michael Jordan we missed, and I agreed with that because over the years, my perspective of him has kind of changed. But I really enjoyed his speech, and I enjoyed like just learning the dynamics of their relationship and friendship, and just throughout this whole thing, I've just been enjoying. Just like I've always admired Kobe's work ethic. Like that's how I know him. I can't really talk sports, but I know how hard everybody talks about him training. I've read interviews and so on of him talking about training and things like that, But then we got to see, as this has all kind of transpired, we're seeing more of Kobe the dad. And I think that really says a lot. And I think that like in this day and age, and we keep bringing this up, how we're so focused on securing the bag. What about, the legacies that we're going to leave behind us, or the people that's going to be there when everything else is gone? So I think also just with all of this is helping to kind of hone in more along the lines of that. Like, hey, you want people to be able to say more about you other than, oh, she could get the money, or, you know what I mean? Like, because it's as individuals, we're still there's so many levels to us. So my heart goes out to his wife. I did not know that was Beyonce at first. That was comforting her with the real church hug thing. And I was like, oh, but that was just, it was all just, it was nice, but it was also just, really sad. It just, again, I oftentimes think, and I think not just me, but others as well, we can see people as being larger than life. And this sort of thing, is just so unexpected. So,
Right. One last thing I wanted to bring up. I seen a lot of people saying that it was disrespectful that they didn't mention his parents. Now, here's the thing. Kobe didn't, from what we know, he was just starting to get back cool with his family. They had a situation when he decided to get married. They weren't even at his wedding. Then they decided to sell his memorabilia, and then he had to file a lawsuit against them. And they kind of sort of was getting back together, but they still wasn't chummy. I was telling somebody, I said every time the camera went to his mom, it seemed like she was just bothered. Like her whole being looked like she was just bothered. And I don't know, I had to look it up because she was like, I don't think they had a relationship. And I was like, you know what? Maybe they didn't. So I Googled and they didn't really have that much of a relationship. And I think that, because the mom and Vanessa may not have had a relationship because the mom may feel a certain way towards Vanessa. And that could be another reason why um they weren't mentioned, because in all honesty, if you disrespect me, yeah, that's your son, but I ain't got to really deal with you. That's your son. Your son deal with you in so many ways because of whatever, of that relationship. So it's sad. It's sad. It's a sad case. And my heart goes out to them that they did lose their son and didn't get to really, really reconcile. We didn't get to really see that. So.
One more thing. They also released just yesterday in the news that Vanessa Bryant is filing a lawsuit against the helicopter company. They listed quite a few complaints. Yeah. So that I just wanted to add that as well. A lot of people said that they thought it was brave of her to do. I was reading as far as like what some of the complaints were. And it's just it's just kind of a tricky situation. And I'm kind of pausing because even still, I'm kind of like undecided about it. But yeah, I'm just noting the matter because I am still kind of undecided about it.
Okay. Well, that's all we have for what's going on our news this week. Thank you guys for chiming in. Those who have more commentary, if you're on a replay, feel free to comment, send us emails, whatever. Let us know what you're thinking. One day, maybe we'll do a show just on comments. Who knows?
Oh, that would be good.
Mm-hmm. Who's our sponsor tonight?
All right. So our sponsor for this evening is, let me put them up. I got them, but I don't want to just go off the top of my head. All right. So our sponsor for this evening is actually one of SwagHer's newest subscription clients, Arthur Myra D. Unique. Myra is the author of Divine Purpose, which was written to inspire and encourage others to continue to trust God even when your situation shows otherwise. So she just recently released this book. Her website and Instagram are there. You all can check her out, and I'm certain that you'll be learning more about her. As I just mentioned, she is a subscription client, which means that we'll be sharing more of her posts and so on throughout however long for the duration of her contract is. So I'm just eager that she came aboard, and we just want to welcome her. So please check her out, follow her on Instagram, and the book is available on her website.
Her website is www.divinepurpose by Myra D. Unique, DEUNIQUE.com. Her Instagram is Myra, MYRAD Unique. Fancy forget about y'all that's audio.
DEUNIQUE, just for the Instagram thing. Yeah, Anya actually be seeing like she be waiting on me to think when I'm doing it, and then be like, yeah. So, but okay.
Nobody. Look how you gonna play me. No, ma'am. I do not be waiting. I just be making sure I be looking out for you audio people, because sister girl be like, it's right there. It's there.
Y'all can read, can't you? That is kind of, that do be my thoughts. And then like, okay, moving along. But my bad, y'all. I'm sorry. Next one, I'm gonna do better with it.
All right, you guys, this is Wind Down. Our Wind Down episode, what we usually do, as you guys know, is we talk about what has happened this month on our show. So this is our fourth Tuesday of the month. So we had three different people with three different aspects. So I'm gonna run through them and then we'll go back on and talk about them. So our first week we had this month we wanted to talk about I know one of the parts was love and kind of relationship type of thing. Oh, thank you, Roxy. Um, yeah. So one of our themes this month, because it's love month, was love. So we brought on King J Burnett and we talked about, is there a disconnect between black men and black women? The following week, right before Valentine's Day, we had on Shay Your Love Diva. She talked about 2020 dating goals. And last week we had Shawana Connie, and she talked about. Go ahead.
Shauna County.
Thank you. See, we help out each other, and she said, "I'll be waiting." She be waiting for me to mispronounce.
No, I just know how people can be about their names, girl. Like, no, you can get it right, a name right, I will.
And we were talking about getting through the dark times. So that was really good. So let's go back to Jay Barnett. Jay Burnett is a male therapist here in Dallas. We talked about, he felt like there is a disconnect between women and black men. Um, I'm trying to think. I tell you, I have all my stuff right here, and then I be like, it started doing this. So Fancy, you talk about Jay.
Because I was sitting here like, man, I did not get to write down my notes, even though I went back. But some of the things that I really like that Jay discussed, or that were kind of like, they just were moments for me. One was when he mentioned that about, look, y'all feel like I'm lying right now. My bad. I'm still trying to recall what it was. I know he talked about the emotional incest. That was really big, but also when he described like the reason for the emotional incest, but it was another word that he called it, like sons acting as surrogate husbands. That was initially like the big thing, the reason why some men aren't interested in being with someone they see like their mothers, because their moms have been so dependent on them, and they've been acting as a surrogate mother ever since, means a surrogate husband, ever since they were a teen, which I thought was like kind of mind-blowing, because that was right around the time where, as we discussed, the do black men value black women, and he ended up kind of going into that whole subject matter, because you asked about whether or not you asked if, well, you mentioned the fact that oftentimes men get to a certain level of success and then they start to date outside their race. So that was just like really shocking to me, especially as a mom of a 20-year-old. And, just like it made me kind of relook at our relationship and just make certain that I'm not putting more on him than need be. Also, it also made me think of another close family relationship, and just like I was like, wow, like that's it. I've been watching this for years with these two people and trying to understand why it was kind of such of a love-hate relationship. And that's really what it is. It is kind of almost like, it's emotional incest. So that was one of the main things that stood out to me. Look, as you're sharing some of yours, I might be able to come back with some more. I know I have some more, but that was like one of the things there in particular that stood out the most.
I like the fact that he did acknowledge that there was a breakdown between a connection between black women and black men. He said that he would sometimes even ask, when he was a player, he played football. I don't want y'all to be like, oh, when he was a player out here.
When he was a player now.
I know. When he was a player on a team, he would wonder why, he would even be inquisitive and ask, why would people date outside their race? Why would they do different things? Why do they value? And I want to say he agreed when I asked about valuing a black woman and different things that black men sometimes don't. They just don't value us because we are the workers. We are the ones that's out here getting it. We out here making moves, and sometimes a man don't want that, and sometimes they want and that's me saying that because I don't remember him saying that. But sometimes they want somebody that want them, that they want that person to take care of. But I don't think that that's what they want from a black woman. I don't know.
Speaking of which, another thing he mentioned that when he said that about how normalized it is to be a side chick nowadays, and how that some of the youth that he works with, some of the young girls, like that's actually their dream. That, as a mom of teenagers, 16 and 14, that was kind of like, wow.
Yeah.
But I will say, because I've had conversations, at least with my 16-year-old. I know that that's not a goal of hers. My 14-year-old, she kind of a whole different story. I don't think that's one of her goals, but I was just like, wow, kids are actually saying this. But again, it has become so normalized. And I kind of think even with how black men see black women, that has also been normalized. It's
Right.
normalized that we're hardworking. That's kind of like, that's expected of us. We're not supposed to be and it's almost as if to say we're not supposed to be as soft and feminine. We don't need protection. We don't need coddling. We just supposed to be out here working as hard as you if we want, that
Right.
other level of life. But then at the same time, I see black women every day that, or other races of women that do secure a husband and it's not that way. They're not so on them. So I don't know. Maybe it's just the type of men that I run across. And then I will say also, just from a personal standpoint, most of the men that I've dated have they prefer to keep me at a lower level. Like, success wise, I've always been too ambitious. Why won't I just settle for this? I'm wanting too much. So I don't know. It was like they enjoyed me better at a lower level in life. And someone asked me the other day, like, the ex, what were my thoughts on the black man? And I shared this image of Miss Eartha Kitt, where she's like, many have wanted to lay me down, none have wanted to lift me up. Like, it's in so many words. But I just sent him that. He was like, oh, okay. So that's kind of like, to me, that has been my life with black men. But I do know that there are some really good black men, fathers, husbands out there. So I'm not trying to say all of them are like that. And I don't want anybody to ever think, those are my thoughts.
Right.
But yeah.
So that's a nice segue to Shay, your love diva. 2020 day goes. She gave us so much. Jesus. She gave I was sitting here on my hands like, girl. One thing that stood out to me was when she was talking about relationship, something she said, if you keep attracting the same kind of guys, check what you're putting out there.
Mm-hmm.
You're projecting. She was like, check that. When she was talking about dating, then courting, she said you go through, you meet, you dating, you courting, and then there's a pull away period. And she said every man, and I was like, I don't like that. She said no woman likes it. But she said that a man pulls away because he don't know what to do at this point. He hasn't figured out what to do with this, what he's feeling in different days, but he always comes back. And for a lot of us, we're like, you gone, bye. But when you start acknowledging and understanding who you are as a woman, I think a lot of times, as she said, that we're to be treasured, we're to be, that. But how many of us really project that? How many of us really make people treat us that way? And then we actually talked about, because I was like, girl, what about these men? Because like you said, I've dealt with guys who I felt like wanted me underneath them. They wanted to either conquer me or they wanted to take from me. And she told me, she said, I got some things. She said, are you open? I said, yes. And she was like, you're a giver. She was like, you give too much, because I am a giver. And I always say I give off the support that I want. So if you have a basketball game, I want to be there. If you're selling a damn plate, I'm gonna buy a plate. I'm gonna do different things to show you that I'm interested. And she was like, sometimes they don't know what to do, so that's why they back off, or they can't handle that at that moment. And I have to understand and respect that. So now as a person, as who I am, I have to not give so much like that. And one of my girlfriends was talking today, and I was like, I'm a healer. I'm an empath and I'm a healer. And the other girl, she's an empath. She was like, that's why you give so much, because you feel a need and you feel like you kind of have to help with that need. So you want to fix the situation because you're a healer. You want to cover it and everything and protect it. And and I find that a lot of times also I meet guys that are not supposed to be my man, but they're only supposed to come to me for healing, be in my space for that. We're only supposed to be friends, but then it leads to something else because of we both grown and everything, and we're spending that time together. So it leads to intimacy, and that's something that I had to learn too. So, what you got from today?
That's a great point with what you just said. For one, just even because oftentimes when you have that type of close relationship with someone, you think, oh, this might be the person. This is supposed to be, but really, that's just the person you're supposed to be helping, or that's just for the season. That's just one thought. I really enjoyed Shay's interview. I like how she pulled the science into it. Initially, with what you were saying about the men pulling away, I was wondering if that was at the moment when she mentioned that, like about the difference between the hemoglobin and the connection here or something.
Yeah.
I was trying to listen back for that, but I wasn't certain if I actually heard that part this evening or not. But I don't know. Like, I enjoyed the interview. So much of what she said I agreed with. And that's kind of it. I don't know. I feel like a part of me, and I'm just being, I guess, very honest now. I've been trying to write about this, but I think with the medication that I'm on now, like, and just recent life events, I don't feel, I don't know. I'm so dismissive about love and relationships right now in my life. But I also really feel like right now in my life, I am going through a phase of healing. Like, this is my alone time. So I guess, like, for some women watching it, you may be like, oh, yeah, gotta write this down. And for me, it's just like, oh, okay, because a lot of this I've already been doing so much self-work, but I continue to learn myself, even as I continue to grow into different levels. But I also just kind of like realize that a lot of things may not necessarily, my lifestyle, I guess you say maybe, may not necessarily fit, like a lot of things. Whereas you're listening to the coaches, it is kind of like, I'm not going to say it's all one person or one type of avatar of the client, but it was just it was something there. I still feel like was missing for me. And I don't know what it is. I don't know how to describe it, but it's what I was initially trying to explain to you all is it seems like a big part of my feelings are kind of missing as well. If that makes sense. I don't know. I don't know if anybody else has ever taken, like, it just, again, has taken like antidepressant or anxiety meds and they feel that same way. But actually, if you could leave me a comment, I am kind of curious. Because it's like a dulling sense there. So
it make you feel numb. I have a friend that was on something. She said she got tired of not being able to feel, not having emotion.
I don't feel, and that is kind of the thing, because it's not that I don't feel numb, but it is like it's a whole layer right there between my emotions and what I'm seeing. Actually, just as I've been just looking at myself, I'm like, since I've been on my medication consistently, I'm noticing that I think more logically now, I feel. So a lot of things, I don't even go down the road of the fantasy. I used to say, like, I used to go down a rabbit hole. A lot of things is just kind of like, oh, okay, that's what it is. All right, got to keep it moving, because my focus is so much more extreme now that with things like that, I'm just like, hey, I get what you're saying, but if a good man is going to come along, like, I know I need to change my dating habits. I know I need to do better. And I was just like, as I was listening to her, I will say this, I had to take like really responsibility and think about like, hey, there are some things that are still within you that might need to be fixed. You need to be like better at decision making. There's a word I'm looking for. Do you know what I'm talking about? My discernment needs to be better.
Oh, okay.
Because I oftentimes do that as well. And I've just been seeing all these posts. It's like, oftentimes that we're so focused on looking at the good in people. Like, I know from my own life, I don't have the most time to just be trying to help everybody, but that good in people is like where I'm always listening to your backstory, you know? So if you tell me, oh, when my dog died and I was 3, you know what I mean? Like, and that's the reason why I am the man today, I'm gonna be like, oh, but now I'm kind of like, well, dog died. Everybody dog died. Gotta keep it moving.
I mean,
That's just kind of how I am right now. But you know, I think as I steadily progress along, it'll, you know, I'll probably look at the interview because it was a really good interview. I don't want to knock it by any means. I just, and even I tried to explain it to her, but it was just still something, just some. I don't know.
yeah, because for a minute there you had kind of stepped back and was like, okay, I'm taking this all in. And I had a lot of taking it all in moments, even with, and like you said, a lot of it that she was saying, I already do too, self-healing. You have to heal before you want to get into a relationship. And you have to date properly. She said you should date, what, 5 guys at the same time?
Mm-hmm.
I want to say she said 5 guys. And that's the thing. Dating doesn't mean I'm having sex with each of them. Doesn't mean I'm being intimate with any of them. Like, we just may pop in, pop out. Hey, how you doing? And keep it pushing. That's what that dating is. We have gotten away from real dating and real courting. And we went from straight to, I met you, okay, I don't want you with nobody else, and let's see how this can work. When it really should be, I'm getting to know you, I'm trying to see if you fit in my world. Because that's how I am. A lot of my friends be like, you date. One of my girlfriends always tell me, date and date often. She used to always tell me that, and she said that's one thing she loved about me is I date and I date often. I'm not gonna waste my time. If I see something that I'm just not gonna deal with, I'm not. And I told somebody yesterday, I said, I'm not going back and forth with somebody I ain't having sex with. I'm just not. I'm not arguing with you. I'm not going back and forth with you. I don't have to put in the time, the effort, and the energy into this because you're not my man. That's what I pretty much meant when I made that comment. But that's just what it is. If we're starting off like this and I'm seeing patterns, I'm seeing different things, I don't want to deal with that. You can be my homie all day long, but I don't want to deal with that. So
Just even with what you said about the fit into your life, it made me go back to something else that I really like that Jay had said when he was talking about, like, oh, I can't remember exactly what he was talking about, but what he said basically was like, we can be in relationships with people and become the medicine to their sickness. And that kind of holds us there. Like when we were talking about doing the work and doing the healing, and if that other person, you know, like having that need to reach back and try to lift the other person up. And I thought that was like profound as well. Especially just from a personal level. Like I heard him say that night. But as I listened back to the interview today, I was like, wow, like this is almost close to what I'm going through, you know? So that was also something else that I think that really stood out to me that I just want to know as far as for Jay's interview.
The trauma of it all. I mean, you can relate to a person on trauma, and that's not good because once you heal, if that's the only thing that you connect on, that's going to get old eventually.
Well, I don't even think it was he meant necessarily. I mean, like it could have been the trauma connection, but also just like when you're constantly trying to reach back for this person and make sure that they're okay. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like it's almost like, you know, we've been talking more about unhealthy relationships, and that actually with both of those interviews, they discuss healthy and unhealthy relationships. So they kind of touched on it. But oftentimes just that dependency that people can have on you. It may not necessarily be that trauma connection, but just that person, you feel like, oh, I gotta help them, you know, because I know that they can't seem to do this by themselves and this and that, and it's hard to do that, you know, to break away from that. But at times I realize, like, in order for us to be able to grow, we have to be able to do that.
I mean, I've been in situations with females, and I felt like if I'm eating, they can't not be eating. But it brought me down and it drained me. And then at the end of the day, we're not even dealing with each other because I couldn't deal with it no more, or something happened and different things. So yeah,
I've had that happen before as well, so I understand it. It's been some years because I really hadn't had too many close relationships or friendships since then, but I totally get what you're saying.
So the last person we had on was
Shauna Coney.
Shauna.
Playwright Shauna Coney and filmmaker. Let's also look. Let me
Yes.
just add her titles here. And I'm just excited because Shauna, like I said, was from her hometown, and it's just good to see people doing other stuff there and just helping to. I feel like give back to the community, giving them something more to aspire to. I think that that's really awesome.
Love talking to Shauna. She was very transparent on her own things that she had gone through. She had lost a kid to SID. She had had a divorce, and she has her two miracle babies now. She talked about the whole process of writing her film. She has one, and then she has another one that's about to come out. She talked a lot about getting through the hard times and how she prayed. A lot of people, me myself, as I said, I'm Christian. I pray through, praying through it, getting through it that way, because to me, it's good to have somewhere else to put that on, put that on, another entity to put that on. I enjoyed our conversation with her. I enjoyed her transparency. I'm excited for everything because I love the way that you said you've seen everything play out. You watched everything play out, and that was like so significant because you know for a fact all this stuff that she's saying that actually happened because she was chronicled.
Look, I just want to know because somebody might be like, I didn't know Fancy and Shauna was so close. Now I watched it play out from her Facebook posts and so on. And I'm just one of those type of people. Like I don't think people oftentimes really realize that I'm reading their statuses, but I will pop up on anybody's status and leave a comment if I'm happy for you or share my thoughts or whatever. But I don't think people oftentimes really pay attention to that. Like I'm watching your kids grow up basically, and I don't mean for it to be stalkerish, but I'm an introvert, so I watch from online. This is how I connect to people, and then so I really did like enjoy seeing her story. It was just like wow, just seeing her write during some of her, seeing like I guess what have been some of her saddest moments. I read some of her poetry and so on, and then I just began to see her because remember the films before the film there was the play. So just even to see her putting the play together and just her kind of talking about the process and different things, it's been really inspirational to watch. So
I love how she's
gonna go far. I said I think she's gonna go far. What did you say?
I love how she's using people from the community. And how they were getting excited about it also. She put it on. She said that she let somebody read it and they encouraged her to go further with it. Sometimes that's what we need. We just need that one person to say, you got it, go for it, do your thing.
It's so funny you just said this is so off topic. It's so funny you just said that because I was just thinking about when you said that about the reading it, even the Arthur Spotlight that we just had last week. She was just talking about how one of her coworkers finally read some of her poetry and told her that she should put it into a book or something, and then she ended up doing so. So that's one example of that. But then on a personal level, even just this morning, like I have been so nervous about this Where Wild Women Wonder event. And I had finally I just sat down and I started putting more stuff together. And I was really struggling. And I sent it to Nadia, Sisters of Empowerment. And I was literally shaking, even just as I sent her the email, because I was just I don't know. We haven't really done a big event in a long time. So it's just been, but when she read it, she was like, it's good, it's very informative. And but she told me to change the order around some things. But I realized also it was just so good and I'm not, of course, normally I bother you with this type of stuff, but I knew you might have a busy morning. But I'm it's just good when you have people that you can reach out to, that'll give you that type of feedback, and not necessarily the feedback that you want to hear, but the real feedback, So
definitely you have to have people around you that's gonna say, yeah, you can do it, or no, you shouldn't.
Right.
Gonna be real with you, and that's not in competition with you, but they really want to see you progress. They really want to see you succeed. So
yeah.
All right. Any other final thoughts or theories from this past month? This was a good month.
It flew by.
It did fly by. It did fly by. And we're getting prepared for next month. We have some excellent guests coming next month. I'm excited. I'm excited. Tell us about what y'all like about the podcast. What we should change, what y'all like, Fancy and I are so different, but yet we're such the same person at times about different things. So tell us what y'all like. All right. Fancy, who's our sponsor?
So this week's event sponsor is Up and Comers Showcase, which is presented by one second. The intellectual property lawyers of Southern University Law Center. For one, their name just sounds so impressive to me. But but also, just to let you all know a little bit about the event, this event is not for your ordinary who's who. It's where upcoming artists meet upcoming attorneys in a setting with the vibe that allows the artists to showcase their talents while networking with future intellectual property attorneys, which in this day and age is a really big deal. So they're putting you in the room and also providing you with entertainment. And if I didn't share this with y'all, because I've been more so sharing their flyer, but I am hosting this event. So yeah, I'm gonna go get my hair done finally. I was waiting, I was holding out.
Silly.
I'm like, look, so yeah. And look, I'm saying it, I still haven't scheduled my appointment, but I am going because I want to be cute for this, and I'm gonna be wearing some Theories and Thoughts merch. So I just hope y'all come out. This event is gonna be taking place in Baton Rouge. Anya, I see you waiting to give out this Eventbrite link, but I'm gonna be
Why not?
So, the Eventbrite is eventbrite.com/e/ is that really / though? Or is it the backslash?
I mean,
you can't. Okay. E / up up dash in the letter N commerce COMERS dash tickets. Girl, you can have it. You can have this. If you all search eventbrite.com and Up and Comers, you can see it if you're listening for our audio listeners. But of course, if you are watching, then the link is here. And you can also follow them on Instagram at IPLA_SULC. So that event is taking place in Baton Rouge on Friday. I hope that you all will come out and support.
That's a really good event because of the fact that whenever people don't realize, people will steal your stuff if you let them. So it's very, very, very important to connect with a lawyer, with an attorney. You never know what you might need them for. So that's that. We always have our Never Thirsty tumblers on sale. You can get them off our website at SwagHer.net. Products, theories, and thoughts. It can be personalized. Fancy, where is your cup?
I've been drinking out of my cup all day. I just happened to actually reach for my coffee cup on accident just a minute ago. Did you see me?
Mm-hmm. That white cup. Mm-hmm. I don't have a cup. That's why I'm like fussing at.
Well, right back for the coffee, but yeah, because these tumblers are for cold stuff. Have you ever put anything hot in yours?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. I didn't know.
Hot and cold tumblers.
Oh, we need to add that.
As Fancy stated a little while ago, we have our Where Wild Women Wander, which is March 27th. They're in Baton Rouge doing the Women Empowerment Weekend with Sisters
of Empowerment Social Organization.
Thank you, because I know y'all, but then I be messing up stuff.
It's fine. You know, you're gonna learn more about them, especially because we do so much with them. But also, so for those who may also know them as SOE, you know, throughout the community too.
Yeah, and she'll be actually on the show next month. So we're excited to interview Nadia about the event. So we will have a flyer up very, very, very soon about Where Wild Women Wander, so you can know what it's gonna be about. Cause honey. Mm-hmm. Yes.
Excited.
Announcements.
Announcements. So announcements I did not put in. Interested in being a guest on Theories and Thoughts? Email Anya and Anya. Why you didn't look? I'm sorry, y'all. This is me here. I'm getting better with our crawler, but I do forget. Well, I'm getting better with the agenda. But
Mine do what?
I'm trying to find it. 1 second.
My name is ARNYA@SwagHer.net. If you're interested in being a guest or a sponsor, please contact me. Also, are we still taking travel book placements?
No. Well, for the Women's Empowerment Week book, but we have Troya Bishop's travel book in print right now. So, and y'all, we use a new designer. I'm so excited for you all to see the new layout design because I feel like we upgraded the travel book like by 10. So, if you're interested in being a part of the Women's Empowerment Week travel book, then please connect with us for that one.
What's the travel book, Fancy? Hey, Mariah.
I think I'm putting me on blast here. Why don't I have any right by me? I don't want to be getting all up, y'all.
That's okay.
But I'll go live. I'll go live like sometimes this week, and I'll be showing some examples of those because I'm trying to get back to my lives too. I've just been working on a lot of stuff.
A travel book is where someone pays to be the cover and be the feature of the book. We also do advertising in there. We do business card. And I want to say we do a full page also. They go to different states. So if we have different events that we are hosting or we are sponsoring, we send some of them out there to different cities.
Well, no, I'm gonna say, see, if you asked me what's a travel book, I thought you wanted me to show an example of one, but you described it well. However, I would say it's actually like it's a mini magazine. We distribute them for free when we're out and about. But if you pay to be the cover of their magazine, then it's really just about you, and we just add a few advertisements in along with it. So you're getting more than a page, and then you also get the back cover, your feature on the inside, and then the front cover as well. So everything is about you. It's really tailored to the individual, so that we don't have to steal our print issue covers.
Right. It's a really good thing to get information about you out there. It's very, very, very great resource. So you can contact me also about that or advertise at SwagHer.net. We're always looking for brand ambassadors, journalists, and marketing people. You can contact me at Arnya at SwagHer.net. Let me tell y'all something. One of our brand ambassadors, has it been about a year now? About a year. That she's been doing fashion.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
She's been doing the fashion reports after every award show for about a year now. She started off, it was her and myself, and then she started doing them by herself. This is what brand ambassador got her recognized by NAACP awards. Didn't they
they shared her recap, like the video recap that we put in our stories for her, and then they shared it in their stories as well, like the fashion highlights is what it's called.
So that gave her even a bigger audience. So our brand ambassador program is not just, oh, you're doing so much for us. We're putting you out there too. It's a win-win for both of us. You represent our brand well, and we represent you well. So if you want to be a brand ambassador, I know so many brand ambassador programs. People are like, "Nah, I want to be a part of that now." But we actually repost your stuff. We sponsor your events sometimes. We do that because we know that your brand is important and our brand is important, and it's a partnership. It's not just a one-sided thing. So that's what brand ambassador. Also a journalist. Also, we use we use a lot of different things and try to promote you even more. Also, and marketing, you also get you get commission.
Yeah. And just as we were talking about the different departments, also if anybody's interested, like you're another media outlet, Jamil is just forming tons of media partnerships. So that's another great opportunity. Even if you're not, your platform isn't as big as ours, but that doesn't mean that we can't work something else out. And it's not paid. Basically it's kind of like bartering, but we're growing both of our networks at the same time, which, if you haven't noticed, is something that we do pretty much throughout everything. We're always trying to make certain that whatever relationships or partnerships that we're going into, collaborations, that is beneficial for both parties. So, and usually it does work out really well, because I saw a lot of people use the SwagHer name and take off.
Yeah. So, I mean, again, win-win, win-win. We are now available on Spotify. You can catch us on TuneIn, Google Play, Breaker, Pocket Cast, Radio Public, and YouTube on Fridays. So be looking for us on all those different spaces to check out the replay if you want to just hear us again, or if you want to just share it with anybody else in your family, friends.
And subscribe and follow, please.
Subscribe.
Especially on Spotify, y'all. We trying to get our something up, our influence up on Spotify. Y'all know that's where everybody want to be. Outside of Apple Podcasts.
We're working on Apple, and we're on YouTube, and we have so many videos on YouTube. We have interviews on YouTube. We have a journalist. She does a video. She does a hangout interview and it's on our YouTube. Again, it's a win-win. It's win-win when you're working with SwagHer. So I have nothing else. Fancy, do you?
Nope. Good night, y'all.
Good night.